Good morning. I'm in Evergreen in Colorado today. Still struggling with my voice from the previous episode. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. It's starting to come back a little bit today. I suffer a little bit from Goldilocks syndrome. This is a little bit different than the whole voice thing, but I just enjoy having the perfect temperatures in the range of 65 to about 85 degrees. Today it's getting up to almost 90 degrees in Evergreen, so I'm going to head up to a little bit higher elevation up near Mount Evans. Mount Evans is actually, I think, 14,000 feet or thereabouts, and I'm going up to just before Mount Evans to Echo Lake and going to hang out there for the afternoon while it's hot and possibly stay at a campground tonight. I've never stayed in a campground in my step van, and this might be a fun experience. I just arrived at the Echo Lake campground. I'm going to go see if there's any available spots. I guess it's a first come first serve, self-serve. That's a lot of serves in there. But anyway, you just go look for an empty spot and then you come back and you fill out an envelope and just pay and put it in the box. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I'm going to go look for a site. Well, I'm just not finding anything that I like here. Nothing that I'd want to pay for. It's all out in the sun, or it's reserved or taken. So I'm just going to go over to the lake and hang out for the afternoon and then decide what I want to do after that. Back over my shoulder is where you pay to go into Mount Evans. I think it's like $10 or something to enter in there. There's a little bit of a line, and then it takes about 30 minutes to drive up there. I'm not sure if I like this spot where I'm parked. I'm sort of hanging out into the road a little bit, but it does have a beautiful view of the lake, and I'm right next to the park here, which is really gorgeous, and the weather is really nice. Temperature is nice, so I think I'll just park here for a little bit, get some lunch, hang out. My voice is still going. I apologize. I don't know how much this wind is affecting the audio, but my voice is just not projecting. Not exactly a great day for doing vlogging with my throat being the way it is. I managed to relocate to park in a different spot. The young lady that was parked just in front of me to the right took off and vacated that spot, so I was able to change a 90-degree angle, and now I have a gorgeous view out my windshield of the lake. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Check out that view. So here's where I parked, right next to the park over here, and then right in front of me some orange cones, and then the lake. You can see the snow mountains back here. Gorgeous view. This is Echo Lake. I'm totally losing my voice today. I'm not feeling super great right now. Energy's sort of low, and of course my voice is gone. So I think I'm probably not going to do any work on the step van today and just try to rest and get my energy back. I did want to go for a short walk just to sort of get out of the step van and get some fresh air, so I'm going to just walk the short distance across the lake to the other side and then back. So that's probably 10 minutes over there and 10 minutes back. I don't know if you can see that on the video that I'm capturing here, but I'm walking through a swarm of dragonflies. I'm talking like hundreds of dragonflies here. It's incredible. Looks like there's some sort of group doing something, some activity over here. They're clapping and cheering, maybe some sort of awards. I've never seen dragonflies like this. There's just so many of them. Bunches of them are like doubled up on top of each other. I don't know if they're hitching a ride or maybe some extracurricular activities possibly for these dragonflies, but there's so many of them. Oh, it's so nice up here. This is why I love Colorado. So my theory on why I'm obsessed with Colorado is that has something to do with the senses during your developmental years, like ages birth through age 6 or 7 or something like that. All right, I'm gonna take this moment to rest and just look at the lake here and do some step van FAQs. I realize that the majority of people that are subscribing to this channel now are subscribing to see what happens with the step van and sort of my way of going about building it. I know I'm losing some subscribers because I'm taking so long to do it, but anyway, I'm going to answer some common questions I get with the step van. First question, and I get this a lot. You look at most of the step van videos and look in the comments, particularly when I'm struggling, is why don't you just go get an RV, a pre-built camper and get on the road? Well, I actually addressed this around video 150 or something like that. Back when I arrived in the United States. I went from Austin to a couple of cities nearby, larger cities, on a quest looking for RVs and trying to find the perfect RV. I looked at Class C's and Class A's and looked at a variety of things in the $10,000 to $12,000 budget range. So these were used vehicles. So I went and test drove a bunch of them, walked through them, probably looked at a good 40 or 50 RVs. And I chose not to go that direction for a number of reasons. One, headroom. Almost all of them I was hitting my head on lights. I couldn't fit into the bathrooms. I was like this in the bathrooms. They all had black water tanks. I didn't want a black water tank. I don't want to have to empty that. I want a composting toilet, by the way. A lot of them had generators. I didn't want a loud generator, although I guess I didn't have to use the generator if I had one. And second reason is that I wanted to do stealth RV camping. So I want to be able to park on the side of a street in a parking lot without drawing attention to myself. Not so important here in Colorado and some of the other states I've been in, but when I go down the California coast, which I'm hoping to do in the fall, I'm told that the stealth factor is a big factor. So the white van type look, either the small white van, a white Sprinter van with no windows, or a box truck or a step van, that's going to be ideal there and not the camper type vehicle. And the last reason, the third reason, is the style reason, which I've mentioned before, is that I'm a graphic designer. I have my own sense of style. I want something that's crafted according to my individual style and what I want, and something that I can make uniquely my own. Another frequent question that I've been getting is, why don't I hire a carpenter just to build the thing out, or hire a mechanic to fix something like a brake caliper, for instance? The reason is because this is part of my bucket list. This is something that I want to do. These are skills that I don't have that I'm trying to learn. It's like trying to roller skate for the first time, or get on a bicycle. You make lots of errors in the very beginning where you have no skill set. Those people who have similar types of hands-on skills translate really easily from one skill set over to a similar skill set, because they develop a certain set of skills, like say motor skills and an intuition and an understanding for something, and that translates from one area to another. I'm very skilled in certain areas. Mostly in the areas of things like intellectual stuff, sitting behind a computer reading books. My degree is in ancient Near Eastern studies, so that's linguistics, anthropology, archaeology, religion. I was studying to be a religion professor of ancient studies at a university, so I have a totally different skill set than changing oil or building cabinetry or putting in floors. So I'm really starting from scratch, just like a child trying to learn these skills. So it's a struggle for me, but it's something that I want to do, and it's something that I'd rather not source out. One of the related questions to this is, so why don't you get a mentor? Well, I actually am looking for a mentor, and I have a couple of them, just they're not right here in this physical space working on the project with me. But that would be my ideal, is to have a mentor on site at my, looking over my shoulder, so to speak, that could tell me how to proceed with things. Okay, the last question, and I've answered this before several times, is what's the ultimate plan for the step van? And that's a complicated answer because it's rather involved. Basically, I'm planning on traveling. I'm doing a world tour, seeing everything that I can possibly see. I wanted a place that I can come back to twice a year for 2 to 4 months each time between my travels. So let's say I go out to Asia for 3 or 4 months, and then I want to come back to the United States for a month, 2, 3 months, like that, see family and friends. Then I'm off to, say, Europe or Africa for 4 or 5 months. So I wanted a place that I can come back to, that I don't have to pay rent on, that I can keep just a minimal amount of things, and also give me the ability to travel the United States and continue with my wandering, with my quest for seeing different places and experiencing different cultures. I wanted to cover both of those, have a vehicle and have a place to put my stuff. So this was the ideal compromise between all of those things. There's one other thing that I want to mention for the step van. Besides visiting people and seeing the national parks, the other thing that I want to do with the step van is engage socially as I'm traveling with the people around me. And so I borrowed this idea from Giuseppe from this tea bus, and basically what I want to do is share tea as I'm traveling about, just as Giuseppe does with his tea bus. But because of my interest and passion for travel, I decided I wanted to do a traveling book exchange. So these will be travel books that I will be just offering. So I can just give somebody a book, we can talk about travel, share some tea, and I can meet some people, meet some of you as I travel. And so that's really the whole concept and idea and why I want a step van. That's all I have for this episode. Savor the moment. See you next episode.